Good morning and welcome to FBN Forward Markets. My name is Brian Como. Today is the 31st of August. I don't know about you guys, but I always have to count on my knuckles. Did you guys get taught this? It's like January, February. So this is there's 2 months in a row, July and August with 31 days. And I always have to use my knuckles to figure out which two. So a little insight into my life and the shortcomings of my brain. But here we go into today's market information. Here today we're going to start off with futures. We've got corn up. This was screenshotted about 7 o'clock this morning. We've got corn up about 1.5 at 482. We've got soft wheat down 8 at 599. We've got hard red winter wheat down 10 3/4 at 721. We've got spring wheat down 5.5 at 774. Oats are up 5 3/4 at 506. Soybeans up 2 1/4 at 13.89. You've got ice canola down $1.40 at 807. We've got bean oil up about 0.7 of a percentage point at 63 cents a pound. We've got soy meal down about 80 cents a ton at 409.40. We've got crude oil up pretty good today. It's actually the leader of the pack today, up to 82.28. We've got the US dollar up slightly at 103.54. The Canadian dollar has faded a little bit back to 73.83. And we have the stock markets up today mostly with the S&P, the NASDAQ, and the Dow all posting small gains this morning. All right, let's get into some of the headlines here. Wheat is on track for a 10% monthly loss, biggest since May of 2022. Chicago wheat fell more than 1.5% on Thursday and was on track for a monthly fall of 10%, which is its biggest since May of 22, amid plentiful supplies from the top exporter, Russia. Harvest pressure in the Northern Hemisphere continues to weigh on global wheat markets. Russia's strong wheat export pace, in particular following last year's record crop and now a large new crop, will continue weighing on markets in the short term, said a senior grains analyst at Rabobank, which was quoted by Reuters this morning. Although Russian wheat did lose out as Egypt's GASC settled at a purchase at 260 a ton FOB, French and Romanian wheat has cleaned up at the latest Egyptian wheat tender as offer levels dipped below the Russian government's minimum FOB price level, sources said on Wednesday. The latest buy tender from Egypt's slate-backed General Authority for Supply Commodities, which is also known as GASC, closed with two 60,000-ton cargoes accepted for the October 5th to 20th loading window, both from France-based Soufflet. I think that's how you pronounce it anyway. The deal was concluded at $259 per metric ton FOB, with the freight component pegged at about $20.49, making delivery of $279.49. Currently, Russian wheat offered at tender should not, according to the Russian government, be sold below $270 FOB, according to traders, with the government looking to stabilize wheat prices after prices dropped sharply in combination of huge Russian stocks and production and mounting harvest pressure. So that's the story on wheat today. Here's the charts. We've got Chicago pushed to new lows a couple of days ago on Tuesday, continues to trade below the support that it broke. Kansas is also dipping well into new low territory here. And Minneapolis actually flipped just yesterday, kind of into the late part of the session, and closed below support and is now pushing further down. So overall, I think what we're seeing here in the wheat markets is some seasonal strength. What is a little bit concerning, however, is just how deep. Sorry, when I said seasonal strength, didn't I? I meant seasonal weakness. The concern is how deep this seasonal weakness will go before we start seeing some seasonal bottoms. And the market definitely looks like it is willing to continue to push it lower. So you want to make sure that you are positioned well to weather this storm as we move through the Canadian harvest window, particularly. Driest August in a century stokes more India crop curb fears. India received the lowest August rains since at least 1901, prompting concerns about weaker crop output and the potential for more export restrictions. Following the South Asian nation's curb on rice, the country received 162.7 millimeters of rainfall this month, 36% lower than normal, although that sounds like a lot compared to Canada here. According to data compiled by the India Meteorological Department, total rainfall during June to August was 10% below average, the figure shows. September rains will be crucial to make up the shortfall as the monsoon nears its end, especially given the onset of El Nino, which can bring drier conditions, at least in the South Asian continent. Any decline in production of wheat, rice, and sugar in the world's second biggest grower could put more stress on global food supplies and boost prices of some of the major commodities. U.S. corn futures are down on lower weekly consumption. U.S. corn futures remain under pressure Wednesday on further signs of lower domestic consumption and amid the ongoing arrival of a huge Brazilian corn crop. Farmer sales for the 23-24 crop also surged considerably to 607,000 tons from the previous 131,000 in the week ending August 23rd, while sales of the 22-23 crop rose 4.8 to a million metric tons in the week, data from the country's Agriculture Secretariat showed on Wednesday. In the U.S., weekly ethanol production decreased by 41,000 barrels per day to a little over a million barrels per day in the week ending August 25th, while ethanol stocks increased by 1.181 barrels to 1,181 barrels to 21.6 million barrels, data published by the EIA showed on Wednesday. Over the week, full production equated to the consumption of about 2.6 million tons of corn, which is down 4% from 2.7 million metric tons earlier in the week. So a little bit of a concern on some consumption for corn, which is creating a bit of a bearish tilt to the market. Soybean futures have also been under pressure this week as temperatures have returned to a more normal state and products such as oil and meal have been lower. Soybeans are now struggling to stay above $14, and the USDA this week did not lower crop condition ratings as aggressively as thought. There was a gap that occurred on Friday as we got into the end of the day. Monday as we got into the end of the day. But that gap has now been filled and we're now trading below or right around the end of the week, last week's gains after the Pro Farmer Tour. ICE canola has also been consolidating and was on a path to do so even before Statistics Canada reported some added stocks to the last few years of production. There's a lot of expectations this market's going to run back up into the 850 area. I'm kind of in line with those expectations, except the weakness that we're seeing here is a little bit concerning. If it starts to fade back down below some of the recent moving averages, that might be a telltale sign that the rally is getting a little bit exhausted. We are watching the results of what's happening in the related markets, the related vegetable oil markets as well. Canola's been tracking the general directional bias of soybean oil, which is also in consolidative mode and has been for the last 3 weeks or so. Palm oil does look interesting this morning, though, trading back above 4,000 ringgit as concerns over India's rainfall situation are creating an opportunity for Malaysia and India to export more vegetable oil to India than originally thought. Palm oil is trading at a discount to other oils, which is normal, but back in Q1 and Q2 of this calendar year, the spread between soy and palm was much smaller, which means it's possible palm can run without affecting the other vegetable oils. But in the last few weeks, there does seem to be a strong correlation between all of the vegetable oils, which could mean added strength in palm could also raise soy oil and canola oil. That is all we have for you today. Have a great day. We will see you again tomorrow before the September long weekend. Have a great day.